Good morning, girls. Welcome back to our online classes. Today, in this module, I'm going to explain you lesson number 2, Events after 1960, part 2. In this, we will going to see what are the events and who became the Prime Minister of India during 1980s and 1990. So let's begin our class. The 1980s. During this decade, the Indian political system faced many new challenges. The Sikh in Punjab demanded an independent state of Khalistan and began a movement which went on to become violent and destructive. So, children, the Khalistan movement is a Sikh separatist movement seeking to create a homeland for Sikh by establishing a state called Khalistan in the Punjab region. And for this, Pakistan has sided with the Sikh. The Indian army was sent into the Golden Temple at Amritsar, a holy shrine of the Sikh, in 1984 to evict the terrorists who have allegedly taken shelter there. In 1984, that is on 1st June, after negotiation with the militants failed, Indira Gandhi ordered the army to launch Operation Blue Star. The army unit's force surrounded the Golden Temple complex. One of the bodyguard in Indira Gandhi's personal security assassinated her. So children, Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated on 31st October 1984 at her residence in New Delhi. She was killed by her Sikh bodyguard Satwan Singh and Bian Singh in the aftermath of Operation Blue Star. And during this period, an organization called United Liberation Front of Assam, that is ULFA, carried on a major movement in northeast India. So during this time, the organization, the United Liberation Front of Assam, that is ULFA, is a designated revolutionary rebel organization operating in the Indian state of Assam. It seeks to establish an independent state of Assam with armed struggle in the Assam conflict. The government of India banned the organization in 1990 as a terrorist organization. Right after Indira Gandhi assassination in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India. He tried to make several reforms in the field of Indian economy and that of science and technology. So children, you can just see this, what are the things have happened in that time: telecom, resolution, computerization, voting age, panchayat raj, and education. He took the lead in solving the issue of the Tamil minority in Sri Lanka. He promoted the idea of a united Sri Lanka with internal autonomy to the Tamilian community, but its efforts in this regard proved to be vain. So children, what happened during this time? That many problems were there in Sri Lanka, and between the two, so Rajiv Gandhi sent the Indian army to help them. So in that many Sri Lankans people killed. He faced a lot of criticism in the contest of corruption that took place during a defense equipment deal, especially the purchase of long range cannon from a foreign company called Bofors. So he faced a lot of criticism to purchase a long range cannon from a foreign company called Bofors. Children, what is Bofors? You can see in this picture. Okay, what is Bofors? It is a gun or a small missile, and political corruption became a crucial issue in the general election that formed, and Congress party was defeated. So here what happened children? Because of this Congress party was defeated because of this, and after this several political parties formed a coalition called the Janata Dal, and Vishwanath Pratap Singh became the next Prime Minister of India. And in 1988, Vishwanath Pratap Singh formed the Janata Party by merging various fractions of the Janata Party. In this 1989 elections, the National Front, with the support of the BJP, formed the government, and VP Singh became the 7th Prime Minister of India. And the policy for providing reservation for other backward classes, that is OBC, is considered to be his most important contribution. And during this tenure of PM, he implemented the Mandal Commission report for India backward classes, that is OBC. He could not continue as Prime Minister due to internal difference in the party, and children, following his opposition to the Ram Rath Yatra, the BJP withdraw its support. Who suppose? VP Singh, that is Vishwanath Pratap Singh's support for the National Front Line, and his government lost the vote of no confidence. Now in 1960, Chandrasekhar became the Prime Minister of India. His government was also short-lived. So children, you can see over here Chandrasekhar. So Chandrasekhar Singh was an Indian politician who served as the 8th Prime Minister of India between 10th November 1990 to 21st June 1991. And after that what happened? In 1991, during the election campaign, the terrorist organization in Sri Lanka, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, that is LTTE, assassinated Rajiv Gandhi, and Rajiv Gandhi was acquitted from Bofors case by the court in 2004. So children, what happened? Prime Minister of India, that is the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, former Prime Minister of India, and during his election upcoming campaign in southern state of India, a member of the Liberation Tiger of Tamil Eelam by LTTE by terrorists in 1994. And after that, towards the end of the decade of 1980, the unrest in Jammu and Kashmir had begun, and this problem grew serious day by day, and today it has taken the form of terrorism. the terrorist activities that forced the Kashmiri Pandit to leave the valley. So during that time, what happened, children? The events of 19 January 1990 were particularly victorious. On that day, Marx issues declaration that the Kashmir Pandit were Kafirs and that the males had to leave Kashmir, convert to Islam, or be killed. The government has reported on the terrorist threat to Pandits still living in the Kashmir region. So by this we have finished. You can see the Kashmiri Pandit of that day. Okay, so and uh, by this we have finished the part 2 of lesson number 2, events after 1960. Now we will move to our assignment. Children, this you have to write in your history copy. The first question is identify the wrong pair. Children, here four questions is there. So you have to identify. First you have to write the wrong pair and then you have to make it correct. So children, the wrong pair is Chandrasekhar, and what Chandrasekhar, what you have to make you have to make it correct. That is Chandrasekhar, it was a short-lived government. Now question number 2, that is give reason. The first one is Morarji Desai government last for short while. The point-wise answers you have to write. And second one is the army has to be sent into the Golden Temple in Amritsar. And the last one is the Planning Commission was set up in India. Children, in your textbook it is written the National Commission. It is not national. The Planning Commission was set up in India. So answer, children, you have to write these answer in your history copy according how I wrote point wise. Thank you. Have a nice day.